Even as Israel continues to face relentless attacks, the IDF is pursuing diplomacy as hostage talks are set to return and initial ceasefire options are being explored. Here to discuss those possibilities is Colonel Miri, a senior fellow at the Institute for Counterterrorism. Colonel Eisen, always a pleasure to have you with us. Given the IDF's recent success militarily in multiple places, what kind of position is Israel in now to negotiate compared to before? Is there a chance that we can actually reach a deal that will bring at least some of these hostages home?
One of the questions that we ask every single day is, what does the terror entity, Hamas in this case, want? They took brutally hundreds of people from their home. They've been holding brutally these 101 for such a long time. What do they want in return? And at the end, what's happened right now is that you're seeing a change in the Hamas demands. The death of Sinwar opened an opportunity, and I only say an opportunity because the question is, will Hamas take it? Hamas want to, I'm going to say the worst kind of thing, have their cake and eat it too. How can I say that about something called the hostages? They want to end the war. They want Israel to be out of the Gaza Strip. They want all of the prisoners that were taken in this war to be released, all of them, they won't even say who the 101 are. So yes, there's absolutely more momentum now because all of the different stakeholders who could possibly pressure Hamas, both Egypt and Qatar, Hamas in Qatar, all of them seem to be on board to advance a step. And I want to be hopeful, but I'm always the one that comes back and says, I don't know what Hamas in the Gaza Strip, as opposed to all of the other stakeholders, will decide to do.
Now, how dangerous is it for Israel to implement any kind of ceasefire now in Lebanon? I know there have been some rumors about some talks to some degree. Would we be able to reach a compromise that would allow these Israeli communities in the north to return home anytime in the near future?
That one, I don't want to say optimistic, but I do see the step forward in that sense, meaning that the immediate threat, which was absolutely there, of Hezbollah doing an October 7th type attack, but way worse against the communities, all of the northern Galilee. That is what the Israeli ground troops are working against right now, exposing really incomprehensible amounts of weapons, of tunnels, of stockholds, all of these to be able to enact that attack, and that we are destroying. Will we be able ever, and I say this with such a heavy heart, to stop all rocket fire? What are we going to do about the UAVs? At the end of the day, diplomacy is not a bad word. Diplomacy is not about making peace. It's also about using your allies and other communities to be able to better your own position. And I don't want us to conquer all of Lebanon. And even if we would, just like we haven't conquered all of the Gaza Strip, that wouldn't necessarily stop it. So yes, there is a chance right now.
Now, how does the Islamic regime in Iran play into all of this? I mean, how can there be a ceasefire in Lebanon or in Gaza when the head of the snake, so to speak, isn't actually being dealt with? Are we just kicking the can down the road of confrontation with this regime, especially on the nuclear issue? Or can they actually be deterred?
And I'm listening to you right now and I'm thinking, isn't that what we just did? We directly went against the Islamic regime of Iran. To me, the most important part is that we shouldn't be doing that alone. Iran and the Islamic regime of Iran, this isn't about the 90 million Persian people. This is about Khamenei that you're seeing right now. This is about both the Revolutionary Guard. It's about the ideology that he touts every single day. Just this Friday, here we are today, again saying that Israel is the cancer of the world, that Zionism needs to be destroyed. And I put that out there, absolutely something that needs to be taken care of so that they can't fire those ballistic missiles, so that they can't get to that stage of having nuclear weapons. But this shouldn't be about Israel against the Islamic regime of Iran. The entire free world should be united and active in stopping this threat. So most definitely it goes back to the Islamic regime of Iran. I strongly believe that you have to look at it with all of them together, and that means that you have to give and take, and that's not a happy situation, but we should not be facing the Islamic regime on our own.
Absolutely. Well, Colonel Eisen, we are out of time, but thank you so much for sharing your insights with us today.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.